I'm not getting away with it today, no chance. So, gotta make sure what I save on shampoo and conditioner, I spend on Factor 1000 lotion. It's one of the benefits of having amazing dark skin like myself. Today I took a trip to the north of Taipei, where I went to check out one of the most popular and one of the most respected football academies in the city. It's the Master Football Academy, also known as MFA. This is headed up by two British co-founders, Dan Calvert and Michael Chandler. Unfortunately, Dan was busy and tied up coaching one of his teams, but Michael was available for me just to take a little bit of his time, and he was good enough to take me through just a little bit of the basics of the infrastructure and the organisation itself. So I've just been having a bit of a watch of the games going on. They've got their league where they have some internal teams, some external teams as well. Great to see all the parents out, and as you can see, the facility is really impressive. Now, from being here, just over 8 years now, I've never seen anything like this in Taipei, where actually someone has their own facility with pitches, especially grass pitches, most of it's AstroTurf around the country. Fencing to keep the parents a safe distance away from the field as well, but also obviously to stop the balls from flying over everywhere. But as you can see, the setting is beautiful. They've got offices here, they've got a canteen behind me, bathrooms, toilets over here as well. So everything is in place for an academy to really develop, and you can tell a lot of time, a lot of effort has been put into this over years. I mean, the academy has been going for 15, 16 years now, and just talking to one of the co-owners, Michael, and his wife, they put in a lot of time and effort over years. And a lot of people think that it's so easy to start up an academy. Okay, yeah, in general it is. You get a group of kids, more often than not it's parents, take their kid and then a couple of other kids to play for free, and then it turns into an academy. But what they've done here is really brought everything together under one facility, and throughout the years you can tell now there's an actual structure. They've got things in place for coach education in the future as well. They've got links with Rangers FC. They hold tournaments, they hold leagues, and they're involved in a lot of schools around the city as well. So it's a really, really good community feel. As you can see, they're big on health and safety, even though Taiwan basically aren't in quarantine or lockdown. As I was coming in, I needed to wear my mask. I got my temperature checked, I was allowed to clean my hands. I should be wearing my mask now, but I'm talking so I'm not. But everything's well run, well organised. We've got an operations manager, she's busy working behind me in the cafeteria as well. I'm just really impressed with the whole setup. Now, just going back to the point of people thinking it's easy to run an academy, in China it's a perfect example where there's so many academies saturating the market. People think that they can do it and they can make quick, easy money from it. But they start, they get the money, and then they realise how hard it is and how much effort and time it actually takes. And those who haven't got the passion or the actual true, genuine commitment for it, they end up leaving and just sometimes even stealing people's money, who's already paid. I know there's something what's just happened with Barcelona Academy in Australia, leaving parents, hundreds of parents, with thousands of dollars owed to them for kind of unused sessions. Now look, I know everyone's got an opinion about pay to play and everything, but that's what we're going into. Like, as long as there's a good service being provided, there's nice facilities, there should be no shame in charging parents to play. Okay, and later on, if they progress, if they go to college soccer or football, if they go on to play for a pro club, then they get paid to play. But unfortunately, this is the world we live in now, and opportunities do come round first in sport nowadays, or physical activities where you do have to pay for your child to join in. Nothing wrong with it, and it's a very, very well run organisation, and I always, as a father now, I always judge everything on how good something is, if it would be okay for my son, and this would absolutely be okay for my son to join and get involved in, especially because I can sit under an umbrella and get a cold water and a hot baguette from the cafeteria. Perfect. So I'm just going to go and have a quick chat with Michael now, who's the co-owner. Just a few words, and thank him for letting me to have access today, and we'll talk soon. So I'm with one of the co-founders of the MFA, Michael Chandler. Thank you so much for having me today, letting me look around your amazing facility, which I've just been saying to everyone.
Absolutely, our pleasure.
Good to see you again.
Good to have you here.
I just want to start off by what I was saying on my own before, previously coming to talk to you, is how impressed I was with the facility, and I want to know how long it took you to get it to this level.
Okay, I mean, we started back in 2004, so we've been going for 16 years now, 16 years this summer. Within sort of 4 or 5 years, we knew that one of the issues for us and for anybody involved in football is facilities, or the lack of facilities. So, you know, as we developed, we identified quite early on that we need our own venue to support all our coaching. I mean, for example, we would be along one of the riverside parks where there's soccer fields, and we've established, you know, a nice base for about 100 kids, 100 parents to come on a Saturday afternoon, for example, and then all of a sudden, just like that, it's taken away. Where can we move to? You know? So, you know, we started searching, I would say, 6 years ago.
Wow.
To see if we can find land on a long-term lease that we could therefore invest into our own football facility. So it took quite a while, and fortunately 2 years ago we found this piece of land, which was overgrown forest, or whatever you want to call it.
Wow.
And basically it took us sort of 2 years to organise the financing and basically get it to where it is today. We opened last August, and our first event was with Glasgow Rangers, and we delivered a summer camp here in Taipei.
Perfect. So did coaches come over from Rangers?
Yes, they did. They sent over 2 coaches. We'd done 2 weeks of camps. I think we had just over 100 students.
Oh, brilliant!
Over those 2 weeks,
And that was to kind of celebrate the opening.
And obviously to you know, work with a pro club. We've got you know, a 3-year deal with them now, where we can exchange sort of player exchanges, coach education, that sort of thing, and you know, increase the profile of football here in Taiwan, with a cooperation with you know, one of Europe's most famous clubs.
Absolutely. So the pitch and everything we see before us, and what I've seen walking around, this was just all jungle and shrubs.
I mean, next to the beautiful tree you have there, that was a sort of man-made pond.
Right, okay.
You know, so I don't know how deep it really was, but and then everything where you see beyond that tree, where the football fields are, that was just overgrown forest, trees and whatever else, not being used at all for some 20, 30, 40 years, who knows.
So this isn't just like a quick hobby, what people can do and think they can just make a quick buck, or just because they want to do something. This is a huge commitment, and I've been talking to your wife, and I know Dan, the other co-founder, and yourself have put so much time, energy, and I'm sure finances into it. Are you starting to feel like you're getting the satisfaction and rewards from seeing the teams, players? You've got a league out there on the pitches now playing. Are you starting to see that it's all been worthwhile? I think so. I mean, it gives us some solidity in terms of moving forwards to our long-term goals of, let's say, becoming professional. You know, now we can structure a little bit more with our youth teams. You know, we can have a little bit more stability. Next steps for us would be lighting. So, you know, we can offer more trainings for certainly for our advanced teams.
eventually maybe artificial. As you can see, it's a little bit worn out there for the summer months. We're, you know, obviously with the coronavirus, no one's travelling, so you know we're not going to have much time to rest the fields over the summer. But yeah, I mean, in terms of stability, yes, absolutely. You know, we can focus a little bit more on the development side rather than spending time trying to find facilities that we can use to continue our trainings.
It's a huge problem across I would say the whole country. It's just a one big never-ending battle. Sometimes you have to be awake at 4 a.m. just to get on the registration list for a venue. So now you've got in place, I would say, as you just briefly mentioned, something which can progress into a professional setup as well. At all the levels, the youth levels, going into even a senior team in sometime in the future.
Look, I mean, if everything works well here, it goes beyond this. You know, I mean, we can take more facilities, open a second one, maybe, you know, for the pro club where we can go 11 side fields. You know. So, you know, but we've got to start somewhere. It was important for us location-wise that we started in Taipei City. Obviously, this is our customer base, but, you know, once we're happy with what we're doing here, and we're nowhere near happy yet, there's still a lot to be done.
Okay, good.
But yeah, I mean, hopefully we can go on and open more facilities.
Okay, that's great to hear. And one thing what was also nice to see and hear was when I was by you on the touch side, the coach who was playing, I think their team was ahead by 3 or 4 goals, and there was a rule implemented, a mercy rule.
Yeah, mercy rule.
So what's that? If a team's 3 goals ahead,
I mean, we've changed it season by season. You know, obviously we work with all the clubs to find the best method. But you know, our objective is not to kill kids in terms of their confidence. We want them to fall in love with the game. You know, so if they're coming out here week in, week out, losing 10, 15, 20 goals, you know, they're not going to continue. They're going to have no enjoyment out of it.
And it still happens, even though it shouldn't be. It still continues to happen around the world, even.
And at the end of the day, it's basically to the team that's winning, to give them an extra challenge. Make it more challenging for them. You know, and with the same token, help the lesser teams to grow into the game. You know.
And at the end also, which is a common trait in Taiwan and some of the Asian countries as well, win or lose, both the players, they line up together, they say thank you and best wishes and whatnot.
100%.
How do you go about as an academy to install some kind of fair play philosophy, but also keep it balanced with those who are better skill level players and their own playing philosophy? How do you find yourselves finding
so as we've grown, what we've tended to do now over the last 2 seasons is we've created divisions. So, you know, for example, in the U8 category, we have what we call the U8 Premier League, which is for teams who want to be a little bit more competitive. And then we have under that is the Championship, and that's more for the teams who want to have fun, enjoyment. And I wouldn't say take it any less seriously.
More participation.
Exactly.
Okay. Great. So at the moment, what ages does it go up to?
So we in the Victory League, we have categories in the U8s, U10s, U12s and U13.
Nice.
Hopefully next season we can progress that maybe into a U15 as well. And for the little guys, the U6s, what we try to do there is maybe have 1, 2, 3 tournaments a year for those guys.
Smash it. Just finally, I also heard one of the coaches, he's doing his B licence for Scotland. He's heading back. He'll have to head back there to his practical. And it's
eventually,
eventually,
when everything opens up again.
In 6 years, depending how the UK
let's hope not.
Continue, it's easy to talk about it because we're sat here with the sunshine and open in Taiwan. That's also good to hear. And I know Dan also is he's A licensed UEFA A as well. And
he's just waiting for his final assessment on that.
Okay,
but
great.
He's done everything on that.
So you've got everything in place. You've got the layout, the organisation, operations manager, nice, cool cafeteria area, office here for the referees to come and eat and relax after their games and whatnot.
In between games.
So it really does look like you're getting things settled, and Yeah, in terms of progression and probably the partnership with Rangers, is there anything in the future which you could progress with them to, I don't know, have them come over and do some coach education or something like this?
Oh, absolutely, definitely. I mean, that's something we've been speaking to them about. It would have happened this summer in terms of camps and in terms of coach education. This summer, what we're doing, obviously with no one being able to travel, with Glasgow Rangers, is we're going to do a virtual camp. I don't know if anyone else has done that in the world today, but basically we'll be doing afternoon sessions here for 3 hours with our groups, and this will be streamed live to Glasgow Rangers in Scotland.
Okay.
So they're going to be viewing and assessing. It's all their program, so they will be guiding our coaches in what to deliver. And then basically at the end of the 3 hours, all the players and coaches will go next door into our little facility. We'll hook up live to Glasgow Rangers, and we'll hear from them in Scotland and what they think, and talk to the players as well as the coaches.
The best thing about that is that they are actually partners, but they're doing something actively. There's so many partners, I won't name names, that you have a partnership and then they don't really give what they should be. So I'm really pleased to hear that.
Yeah, Rangers have been absolutely fantastic. I mean, of course, we've been going around for 16 years here, and of course we've spoken to many of the clubs, some of the big names and whatever else, but from their perspective it's more commercial than it is anything else. With Glasgow Rangers, they really do care, and they really want to help.
That's smashing.
Makes a big difference.
Michael, thank you so much for your time.
Oh,
great to chat again.
And
we'll do a fist pump.
Soon we can shake hands, huh?
Soon we can shake hands again.
Alright.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Matt.
Let's say Sheshini for the Taipan. Sheshini.